What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week of Hero or Zero here on the Heroes for Hire podcast. My name is Shaun Mean, and joining me, as always, is my partner in crime, Conor Lawler.
Why are you talking like that?
I'm mixing it up, you know. I've been watching a lot of swords and sorcery kind of movies.
I just love that this is somebody's first episode and immediately they're on edge of like, oh, one of them can't talk.
Hey, look.
And the other one also can't talk.
But for different reasons, let's be honest.
Different reasons.
I would just say to that person, get on board, because it doesn't get better.
I'll be honest with you, get over yourself. That's what we're going to go out with
Grow
straight
up.
away. Stop bullying us. So this is Hero Zero. This is the show where we choose one comic book character every single week. We talk their good points and their bad points, so we generally just give you a bit of a rundown of everything to do with that character. Now, I normally choose DC characters, and last week I covered the worst DC character of all, Professor Pig. I wouldn't say worst in terms of character, just unpleasant. We all had a bad time and we all felt worse after the episode.
We all had to confront some stuff about humanity in that episode.
Halfway through a fun-loving podcast, we thought, well, actually, maybe I don't like comics. So, Shaun, it is thankfully your week, so I no longer have to talk about really saw villains who butcher children. If you haven't listened to the episode with no context, it's exactly how it sounds.
Yeah, but listen to it during the day. I could, like, if I could suggest anything.
I'd listen to it surrounded by loved ones.
Yeah.
If you're already having a bad day, I wouldn't go for it.
Some puppies, maybe. That would really help.
If it's your first episode, you don't have to do anything, just chill out. If it's your second or above, we'd really appreciate 5 stars, a like, a follow, a share, whatever way you can support the show. That would really help us out. And we are currently looking for 5-star reviews over on Spotify. As many as you can give us, that'd be absolutely great. Originally we were going for 150 before the summer solstice.
Smash that. Immediately.
Smashed that weeks ago. So we hit that weeks ago. We're well over 150 now. But that means, Shaun, that every week on Hero Zero, Shaun has got to give us some summer solstice facts.
True.
And it's been really fun because we've all been fucking with them. And the more 5-star reviews we get, the more summer solstice facts we need. But Shaun, I'm going to need you for one more week to just, sorry, what date is it now? It's the 6th of May. Okay, so you have
6th of June, I'll have you know.
Sorry, 6th of June, my apologies. It's the 6th of June, so that means that you have about 2 weeks left of this.
Yeah, of this torture that I'm not sure anyone actually enjoys. It's just for Conor.
So, Shaun, our weekly summer solstice fact, please.
Well, let me give a big shout out, first of all, to Janice Simonson. On the comments on Spotify, because Conor, every summer solstice the Gold Panners baseball team of Fairbanks, Alaska play the midnight sun game from 10 o'clock to well into the next morning without the need for artificial light. See, they're the northernmost baseball team on the planet, so the summer solstice is just, it's bright all the time up there.
I hate that people are helping you.
What a fact. Guys, if you have any other suggestions for solstice facts with Shaun.
I'll be honest with you, on one hand, heartwarming. A lovely moment that we have people that listen and then will actually send us stuff that will help us out.
Oh, great.
On the other hand, greatly angered me.
So it's a win-win in my book, folks.
Because to be honest with you, Shaun's lazy and he will take your help.
Conor, I introed the show. You know, I looked up a character.
You went Hero or Zero.
Yeah.
Welcome to...
I'm playing with the format. I'm taking Hero or Zero to strange new places.
Number 8. So, Shaun, it is officially your week. It's enough of all that stuff. I'm very interested to know who you've done, because we're going to need a big pick-me-up after Professor Pig last week.
I thought along the same lines, Conor. So I picked a character that basically has no stakes in the wider Marvel universe, shows up in one story, but I just really like him. I just think it's a good it's a good bit, is what this character is.
Okay. We're not doing Chair again, are we?
I'm going to hang on, new tab.
Just really quickly, just give me 2 minutes.
I'll sort this out, don't worry about it. No, Conor, we are covering Dangerman on this. Have you heard of Dangerman?
I've heard of Dan the Man. I've never heard of Dangerman.
No. Conor, famed comics character Dangerman, of course.
How many issues did you say? One?
Just the one. That's all he needed.
How did I miss him?
So Dan Germain was once a simple married man with an adolescent daughter, living on Long Island and working as a safety inspector for the Roxxon Energy Corporation.
I have heard of Roxxon. I've heard of the Roxxon Energy Corporation before.
Big conglomerate in the Marvel Universe, run by a Minotaur, it turns out.
No context needed there. You just fill in your own gaps.
Big Minotaur man. Half bull, half man. One day, while Dan was setting up a danger warning sign, he accidentally fell from the catwalk and landed into a radioactive vat of atomic hard water.
Oh, danger, man. Oh, for fuck's sake. Sorry, it took me too long to get. I was still going Dan German. I thought he was German.
No, you have it. The pun is, it's danger, man.
Okay, so he falls into a vat. We haven't had that in a long time.
No, would you like to guess when this character was introduced?
Okay, falls into a vat.
Of atomic hard water.
An atomic hard water vat. I'm going to go with 1957.
April 2004.
Sometimes you got to run back to classics.
Sometimes. It'll all make sense. It'll all make sense why this is what it is.
Okay.
Instead of killing him, the radioactive exposure changed him into Danger Man and granted him atomic-based superpowers, making him quote-unquote larger, stronger, and more powerful.
That's just vague enough that we can just give him whatever powers we want.
Unfortunately.
Oh, fuck.
Dan found his newfound powers to be more of a burden than a blessing. This is
every origin ever.
100%. But like, in a 50s story, he immediately becomes Superman.
Yes.
But he accidentally injures his wife when he tries to hug her.
Okay, getting a bit dark here, go on.
He nearly destroys his entire house, and he becomes ostracized from his neighbourhood because he keeps breaking everything.
When you say breaking, do you mean that, like, is he radioactive?
No, he's not radioactive. He's got radioactive powers, but he's not radioactive.
Oh, sorry, that's my fault for trying to fill in that gap.
But like he'll go to open a door and just take the fucking thing off its hinges. He'll stumble and break a wall.
Okay, so he's just super strong.
He's super strong. Well, Connor, he's larger, stronger, and more powerful. I can't stress this enough.
Did who? Himself?
than the average man, I would say.
Yeah, but that could just mean like, oh, he's above average strength.
He's also like 9 feet tall, I believe.
Why didn't you start with that?
He's 9 foot, 240 pounds. So,
I thought he was 5'6" and slightly stronger than he was.
No, big. No, Connor. Larger, stronger, more powerful.
No, larger is not a number. If I gave you something that was 5 meters long and then I gave you something that was 5.1 meters long, the second thing is larger.
It's longer, I would say, but I get what you mean.
Whatever way you want to go.
So he's 9 feet, he's breaking everything. Right.
Well, thanks for filling in that gap. If he's 9 feet yet, now I can imagine him barreling through the door.
Yeah, he's not going to like the Ted's poker game anymore.
Yeah.
With a frame of that size.
Ted says there's a size limit.
he keeps crushing all the chips. To make matters worse, his insurance didn't cover any kind of superhuman related accidents or injuries, saying they only would have paid out if Dan had died in the accident.
But he's literally invulnerable. He's the greatest person to get insurance from.
But he's like, but all the damages I've caused to my house, it's like they're as a result of you being a superhuman.
I was thinking more life insurance. They would have him pay so much because he can't really die.
Exactly. So like when he does, it'd be a massive payout.
Would you like us to cover a 9 foot tall monster superhuman? Yeah, I think we would.
I'll tell you, that policy would have to be larger, stronger and more powerful, Connor.
Stop saying that.
So they would have only covered it if Dan had died. The medical bills, repairs, and lack of income, because he's not working for Roxxon anymore, because he's a superhuman freak, all quickly led to dwindling finances.
Do you think when he rang them, he was like, I can't come to work? And they were like, why? He's like, I'm larger,
stronger,
and stronger than I was on Friday.
You wouldn't believe how huge I've got.
But sure, Dan, that won't be an issue. Sure, come on in. Sure, if larger, bigger, that's great. We'll get you the different... No. I'm a little bit more than larger and bigger and stronger.
Average doors are an issue.
Think of a height. I'm more.
Yes. Think of the tallest man you've ever seen. Add 2 foot. So, in an attempt to force Roxxon into paying for his medical expenses, Dangerman hired Goodman, Lieber, Kurtzberg and Holloway, a law firm specialising in superhuman laws. Jennifer Walters was assigned to his case.
I know that name, Shaun.
That's She-Hulk, baby. Mm-hmm. So, there's a whole run, Dan Slott wrote it in 2004, there's a whole run of She-Hulk comics of her just solving, like, superhero law disputes. And it's fucking great.
Because what's more fun than watching a Hulk just doing solving crimes?
Yeah. It's like, it's honestly, it's my favourite part of that She-Hulk show, is when she's just, like, doing the law stuff.
Well, I mean, it's the same with the Daredevil show. Like, it's always great that, well, obviously there's loads of really good scenes outside the courtroom. I do like seeing him brutalise people as well. It's always good to see bones broken, but simultaneously, those scenes with either She-Hulk or Matt Murdock or whoever's in the courtroom, like, even in the Reborn series, where, like, he's saving White Tiger.
Yeah.
Like, that whole courtroom episode. It's always just fun to just watch superheroes just being good at their jobs.
Yeah. Yeah, like, and that, like, when the alter ego is as interesting as the superhero, that's when you know you have a good character.
Not like Spider-Man, he's a loser most of the time.
Oh, come on now. Oh, he's okay.
He's never going to get popular, that kid.
Well, we don't know who Spider-Man is, of course. One day.
That's true, I forgot.
So, Jennifer Walters was his lawyer assigned to his case, although she initially had some issues finding it difficult to understand why anyone wouldn't want to be larger, stronger, and more powerful.
He's like, I'm larger, stronger, and more powerful. She's like, yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, I don't understand what the issue here is, lad.
Well, Norma, Dan's wife, became increasingly worried that her husband would leave her to pursue a superhero life.
I have to be honest with you, Norma's not coming across well here. Like, I think her own insecurities are driving her actions, whereas really it should be like, look, with great power comes great responsibility, Dangerman. I
would understand. She calls him Dangerman every time.
She says the full name every time.
But you have to, like, remember, this is out of the blue, but it's in an existing Marvel universe where several partners of superheroes have been kidnapped, tortured, killed.
Oh, yeah, I suppose. Yeah, you can see that logic. And then does he do the thing of, like, you're not safe with me, even though I'm 9 feet tall?
And, you know, and stronger. Larger, stronger, more powerful, of course.
I don't know if I mentioned that.
Frustrated and angry with his condition and how it was affecting his life. It's going to be a bit of a bummer. Try and make this funny, Connor. Dangerman attempted suicide by initiating a radioactive meltdown.
Oh, that classic jibe.
Yeah, no, that's all that can be done there, to be honest.
I got nothing else.
But he was.
I should have come in with like, Jesus, isn't that sad?
Jeez, that's awful, actually.
You know what I thought? Bring back Professor Pig. At least that was a bit of positivity.
At least that was fictional, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But he was rescued by Jennifer Walters.
Right, okay, great.
They then decided, this is in the courtroom, in the case, they cited the Jean Grey precedent. So, Walters successfully argued that Dangerman did die that day when he fell into the vat, and that's when the new identity of Dangerman was created.
Right. So when
Jean Grey died and became the Phoenix, that was the Phoenix doing all the bad stuff. that wasn't Jean Grey.
Look, I don't want to get really nerdy about this, right?
Please do.
But Sean, please forgive me. But was that not like a space force that was like inhabiting her body, making her do all that stuff?
True, but she did become stronger and more powerful. She was roughly the same size, though. So
I feel like that is about where the similarities end. Because you never said he was overtaken by some sort of space cosmic being energy. You just said he fell into some vat of chemicals.
But he's a completely different man than he was.
He's so much bigger and stronger and faster.
There's 3 examples of how he's a different person, you know?
But he still knows who he is and all of his life.
He has all of his memories, but he's no longer a simple, hard-working Dangerman.
Are you your body or are you your soul, Sean?
Look, I don't mean to get back into a mind swap episode, but if we swap minds, you'd still be Conor in my body.
Yeah. But then that's proving my point that his brain is still working the same, so it's still him. But this is me arguing against Jennifer.
Yeah. But no, okay. Look, I think you're confusing the idea with a soul with the idea of perception. I think you wouldn't look if I look like this now, right?
Yes.
Shockingly handsome, ripped.
Oh, just absolutely dashing. Oh, fucking hell.
And then I turned up tomorrow 9 feet tall, built like a fridge.
Yeah.
I'm not the same man anymore.
But are you the same man in terms of personality?
I'm
and
the
all
same
of your
identity. No, not identity. Let's not strike that from the record.
So there you go. So you are the same identity. Problem solved.
It's an identity theft scenario.
I like you defending him and I just talk you out of it. Like, actually, no, you're dead right.
Actually, no, fuck you. You know what? Into jail with you.
I would love to be a lawyer against you, because if I just keep asking enough questions, you'll just start arguing with yourself.
I'll start digging holes and just get stuck.
But everyone forget what I just said.
But that's why we're lawyers together. You know, we're Lawler and me on the law.
Lawler, if you've been keeping up with weird news, we're Lawler and Mead. We're Mead on the law. That's just, we try and get criminals off for no reason other than just hijinks.
Yeah, just we appreciate shithousery is what we like in our firm.
Yeah, exactly.
So they argued that Jennifer successfully argued that the new entity of Dangerman was created as a result of the accident. Roxanne settled out of court for $85 million. More than enough to pay for medical bills, repairs, and family counselling.
Fucking hell, $85 million.
$85 million, because the can of worms that would have opened up if, they set the precedent of, hey, the origin makes a new person and the previous person died, technically.
Yeah.
Would have been insane.
Okay, so 85 million. So now he's rich and 9 feet tall.
And 9 feet tall. He still has all of the powers. He doesn't use them. He does not want to be a superhero.
He's just walking around 9 feet tall. So he never got the Uncle Ben, great power, great responsibility speech.
No. He fully just treats it as a, have you had an accident at work that wasn't your fault?
I'm not going to help you if you have.
And then in terms of powers and abilities, after falling into the radioactive vat of atomic hard water...
Sorry, can I start? Yeah. Is that the end?
That's the end. He never shows up in comics again since 2004.
So, his whole run is he falls into a vat, becomes the biggest, strongest man in all the world, and then decides he doesn't want to use any powers, then goes into a court case, which he wins, and then retires with $85 million. Yeah.
He exists on 30 pages in Marvel Comics, roughly.
This is mental.
So, after falling into a radioactive vat of atomic hard water, he became larger.
Do not say bigger,
stronger, and more powerful.
Oh, Jesus.
Also gaining the following superhuman abilities, Conor.
The ability to be bigger. The ability to be stronger.
Largeness. No. Energy projection. He constantly emits an atomic aura. He can also generate enough energy to create an atomic meltdown.
Right.
Superhuman strength. After the accident, his musculature and mass increased, as did his strength, enabling him to lift 80 tons. He was strong enough to punch She-Hulk into the side of a building and has trouble interacting with objects without destroying them.
Right. So he's just like Superman.
Yeah, he's also atomically powered. He requires no food to sustain him. And he has superhuman hearing and underwater breathing as well.
And he doesn't use any of them and is willing to let everyone die.
He's not going to help, you know. He didn't ask for this.
There's like he's dropping money into the bank and there's a bank robbery. And they all come in and everyone in the bank turns and looks at the guy who's 9 feet tall and built like a fridge. And he's like, oh, guys, I wish someone would do something.
We should really...
I don't know.
Help! Help!
Fucking Hawkeye shows up.
He's atomically glowing.
Like Hawkeye shows up with Daredevil and they're like trying to fight some fucking space aliens and they're looking at him like, lad, come on.
Could you like even a normal person would help.
Yeah. There's like normal people carrying them out with a rubble. He's like, I have fucking lunch though. I have an appointment. I need to get to that.
You know, Scrubs is on. It's 2004, so Scrubs is on later.
The old ball and chains at me there now. I have to go home, break a few more doors.
Apple, that'll never take off.
You're thinking of desperately what was in 2004.
I know, yeah. I'm just like, the Olympics, you know, we're watching that at the minute.
Is Michael Jackson still good? I think he is.
I think he's still good in 04? Yeah, I think he's still good.
Hey, the tides are turning, but we're still with him.
We're still... how's that? When do you stop with Michael Jackson, you know? That's the...
That is a callback to our episode for Movie Mondays on Monday, in which there's a Michael Jackson biopic, if anyone wants to watch that. And we just asked a simple question of, when do you end it?
When do you end it? You know, because there's a good point.
Yeah. There's a real high point there for a long time, and then there's a very sad middle act that has to be thrown.
I don't know if we said this in the original report, or in the Movie Mondays, but like, if you left it on the high point and someone didn't know everything, and then after the film they're like, I wonder what else you got.
Holy shit!
Whoa!
Why would you skip that?
It's like someone that only knows OJ for his linebacking ability.
No, he's running back. Shaun.
Running back, sorry, excuse me.
Yeah, like OJ, greatest runner of all time. Wait, I'll just look up Wikipedia, see what else I can find. Oh, Jesus!
Is his nickname the White Bronco or something?
Shaun, I think that might be the worst report you've ever done.
In terms of content, not delivery.
Yes. No, yeah, I think that's okay. I think... No, actually, what's the worst one we've ever done?
You hated Cher.
I've come around on... Ezekiel Sims is the worst one we've ever done.
Because of it ruined Spider-Man.
Yeah, because it ruins the best comic book character of all time. We're like top 5.
Makes him magic for some reason. Yeah.
And I would never, whenever I think of Ezekiel Sims, who's the villain from Madam Web, if anyone wants to know, we did a report on him. In
name only, I would say.
It's not good. But Shaun, I think that was a lovely report. A character, Dangerman. What's more heroic than a superhero 9 feet tall, bigger, stronger, faster than everybody, who just refuses to help?
Look, it's a level of character building that I personally would help anyone, you know, and I'm not Dangerman. So
he's ringing like Neighbourhood Watch whenever there's crime, and everyone's looking at him like, lad.
He's absolutely the kind of guy that like gives thoughts and prayers on Twitter.
You're like, you could have held that whole building up.
You could have saved so many lives.
So if you like what you heard here, we've done hundreds of other DC and Marvel characters, covering lots of ones that are in more than 30 pages in comic books. Normally we have to condense like 15 years, so 30 pages is actually grand.
Oh man, it's after doing Secret Wars, this is a dream.
You've just been coursing for weeks.
I'm resting on my laurels, folks.
Resting on his laurels. So, as you just heard, Shaun did a full coverage of the Secret War storyline that will be put in an Avengers movie in the next few years. So if you want to get a bit of insight into the comic books, and maybe you don't want to read them yourselves, but Shaun gives us all a bit of a run through. That was a few weeks ago, so you can check that out here on the Heroes for Hire podcast. But yeah, if other than that, we're on all the social medias if you want to get in touch with all them. We have a Patreon which we do extra movie reviews and TV show reviews. There's an extra movie review every single month. There's bonus content, extra episodes, stuff like that over there. That's all linked. That's all linked down below. But most importantly, you can just tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
So I've been Conor Lawler.
I've been Shaun.
And I shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.